What's going on, people? Now, this is kind of perfect. This is actually perfect. The Lord started the Passover on the 14th. The 14th just happened to fall on a Sabbath day. Then the 21st, 7 days later, happened to fall on a Sabbath. That was perfect timing for the Lord. Perfect timing to teach. First, the Lord is teaching you, I will provide for you. I told y'all to prepare the Passover. I actually got the Passover meal ready for you. I knew y'all was going to complain in the wilderness. I just want to see what y'all going to do. I got you. You know, and it's the thing now. Think back. He said their cries reached his ears when they was complaining and murmuring when they were in Egypt. So the Lord came and sent the messenger, sent Moses to help them, to free them from their murmuring and their complaining. Here it is again. A murmuring and complaining. That's like when people be like, Lord Jesus, I'm so tired of being with this man or this woman. They beat me, they treat me bad. Lord Jesus, they treat me bad. And then the Lord removed them. And then they want to go back, and some of them go back. I have done it too. You ask for all this deliverance from your problems, and then when the Lord delivers you, you still want back in. You ain't happy. This happened with us as human beings so often, but we need to learn from their mistakes and our past mistakes. The Lord always try to do what's best for us. That's what he's for. To lead us in the best way possible. Whether it be away from certain people. Because if he wanted to lead them there, if that was the best thing for them, he would have left them. But he didn't. Because he had a better place prepared for them. And their desires of their heart was lining up with what the Lord wanted. So when they prayed to be delivered from the Egyptians, God stepped in and delivered them. Take that with everything you pray for. When you pray and you keep asking the Lord for deliverance, then he do it, pay attention. It's very simple. Pay attention. You know, we hard-headed and stubborn. That's why the Bible says, let not a double-minded man expect to receive anything from the Lord. Stop changing your minds. Make your mind up. I did a video on that too. Make up your mind. That's all the Lord wants you to do. He's still going to do what's best for you. But if you're double-minded, you ain't going to even see what's best. You know, I'm going to do you a little past story about me. For last year, I've been separated from my wife for over a year now. I remember when we was together, she would pray that the Lord would remove me. And he did. And I used to pray for the Lord to fix the situation. And he did. And he moved me. I've been over here for a year in this house by myself. And I keep letting her back in every once in a while. But I'm just getting to that point. I trust you, Lord. You didn't move me for nothing. You didn't separate us for nothing. You answered our prayers. And I'm going to deal with it. I'm just using it as a personal example of me calling on the Lord for help. The Lord knows what's best. Father knows what's best. We might not think it's what's best. The Lord hears. He did what's best for the situation. It works for me. It's hard. It's saddening. I never expected to separate from my wife. But at the same time, Let your will be done, not my own. You saw something that I didn't see or heard, and you did the best option. That's why I love the Lord so much, among any other reasons. But we don't pay attention. A lot of us are stuck in ruts that the Lord is trying to get us out of. We stuck around people that the Lord is trying to pull us away from. But then we get away from them, we complain some more and bicker some more. Trust His timing. I don't know what's finna read next, but I bet you got something to do with what I just said. I don't even know. I just bet you it got something to do with what I just said. 23. Chapter 16, verse 23 of Exodus. And he said unto them, this is that which the Lord hath said. Tomorrow is the rest of the holy Sabbath unto the Lord. Bake that which you will bake today, and see if that you will see if. And that which you remaineth overlay up for you to be kept until the morning. And they laid it up until morning, as Moses bade, and it did not stink, neither was there any worm therein. And Moses said, eat that today, for today is the Sabbath, and the Lord unto the Lord. For today you shall not find it in the field. So he's teaching them the Sabbath day now. He's teaching them how to observe it. He actually taught them in a way during the Passover. It's the Passover days from the 14th to the 21st. And it just happened to fall on the Sabbath. Look at that perfect timing. The Lord may not come when you, how you heard this? The Lord may not come when you want him to. But he always come on time. And Moses said, eat that today, for the day is the Sabbath unto the Lord. Today you shall not find it in the field. 6 days you shall gather it, but on the seventh day, which is the Sabbath, in it there shall be none. And it came to pass that there went out some of the people on the seventh day for to gather, and they found none. Look at the instructions. What he said? It won't be none. And the Lord said to Moses, how long refuse ye to keep my commandments and my laws? These are the most simple instructions you ever heard in your life. Greedy. He's been providing for you for 7 days straight. Then he gave you enough to make double portion the next day, so you ain't got to do nothing on the Sabbath day. Just relax and eat, drink, and be merry. See for that the Lord hath given you the Sabbath. Therefore he given you on the 6th day the bread of 2 days. Abide ye every man in his place. Let no man go out of his place on the 7th day. So the people rested on the 7th day. Saturday. And the house of Israel called the name thereof manna. And it was like coriander seed, white, and the taste of it was like wafers made with honey. It even tasted good. And Moses said, this is the thing which the Lord commandeth. Fill an omer of it to be kept for your generations, that they may see the bread wherewith I have fed you in the wilderness, when I brought you forth from the land of Egypt. And Moses said unto Aaron, take a pot and put an omer full of manna therein, and lay it up before the Lord to be kept for your generations. Now, one thing about this, the Lord can keep something fresh when the day expiration date say spoil. There have been days like I had milk in my refrigerator. Some days I open it up, it's spoiled. There's expiration date there. And some days I open it up, it's been 7 days over, and it's fresher. It's fresh as it was the day I opened it. You see, we don't look at things how God sees things. Sometimes he might want the milk to spoil. Sometimes he want it to last. You see, we got to stop leaning on our own understanding. The world, you can only keep this in the refrigerator for so long that it'll kill you after that. The Lord can keep some food in your refrigerator longer than they tell you, and it still be good. Look, I had some flatbread. I had it in the refrigerator for 6 months, and it still didn't look bad. I'm like, what the world? This is weird. So I opened it up. But the only reason I didn't eat, I probably could have ate it. But I didn't eat. I was like, I don't care. That's been too long. But 7 months, no mold, no nothing. 7 months. Since June, probably longer than that. Since like June of last year. Like 9 months, man. It's still fresh. I'm like, how is that possible? I had other things in the refrigerator that went bad. This junk was still fresh, boy. God can do anything. You know what I'm saying? It's not that I didn't trust God. I didn't trust myself right there. I'm like, no, I'm just going to throw it away. But I bet you it was still fresh. Nothing wrong with it. We got to start paying attention. You see, the world tell you this and tell you that. But God supersedes everything. Time and space. Expiration dates. The Lord went to Hezekiah and told him, you shall die. Get your house in order. Hezekiah prayed and cried out to the Lord, and the Lord extended his life 15 years. Look at that. I'm telling you, boy. Y'all just don't know what y'all missing out on. As the Lord commanded Moses, so Aaron laid it up before the testimony to be kept. And the children of Israel did eat manna 40 years. And they came to a land inhabited. They did eat manna until they came unto the borders of the land of Canaan. Now an omer is the 10th part of an ephah. I ain't finna go into math. I hate math. So 40 years the Lord provided for them. And the thing is, 40 years, he also taught them how to observe the Sabbath day for 40 years straight. Now the thing is, the Lord pulled them away from Egypt to teach him his ways. Most people are like, they should have been made it there. No, repetition. Do your manna, gather that evening, in the morning, it spoils. Eat just enough. And one time a day, except the Sabbath. The day before the Sabbath, we give them enough for 2 days. And they ain't got to do nothing but sit back and relax. So they did this for 40 years, repetition, learning from the Lord. 40 years. You see, I tell everybody to put your cross on first every day, right? Why do I tell you that? It's about repetition. The more you do it, the more it becomes natural to you. In all reality, I had to figure something out. My body, I ain't got to eat 25 times a day. I ain't got to eat 4 times a day. I ain't got to eat 3 meals a day. I can survive on 1 meal a day. You can too. Now, your portion in that 1 meal may be different from mine, but you can survive on 1 meal a day. God is actually going to teach you how to observe the Passover every single day. 40 years straight. This is how you eat. This is how you worship me on the Sabbath day. Week after week, year after year, for 40 years, he put them in the same position so they can do the exact same thing. He's teaching them. A lot of times you're going through a lot of things in this life over and over again because he's teaching you. He's giving you repetition. Trust. I got you. Keep my commands. Keep my commands. Keep my commands. Keep my commands. I got you. I got you. Keep my commands. Keep my commands. Keep my commands. Keep my commands. I got you. I got you. Very simple. 17. Exodus. And all the congregation of the children of Israel journeyed from the wilderness of Sin after their journeys, according to the commandment of the Lord, and pitched in Rephidim. And there was no water for the people to drink. Wherefore the people did chide with Moses, and said, give us water that we may drink. And Moses said unto them, why chide ye with me? Wherefore do you tempt the Lord? And the people thirsted after water. And people murmured against Moses and said, wherefore is this that thou hast brought us out of Egypt to kill us and our children and our cattle with thirst? Here they go again. God been providing manna, 40 years, manna. Sabbath day, double meal from set. Come on. Cleanse the water that was too nasty to drink. And Moses cried unto the Lord, saying, what shall I do unto this people? They be almost ready to stone me. And the Lord said unto Moses, go out before the people, and take with thee of the elders of Israel, and thy rod, wherewith thou smotest the river. Take in thy hand and go. Behold, I will stand before thee there upon the rock in Horeb. And thou shalt smite the rock, and there shall come water out of it, that the people may drink. And Moses did so in the sight of the elders of Israel. So he said, let by the face of 2 or 3 witnesses, let everything be confirmed. So he sent some witnesses with Moses to see what happened. And he called the name of the place Massa and Meribah, because of the chiding of the children of Israel, because they tempted the Lord, saying, is the Lord among us or not? Then came Amalek and fought with Israel in Rephidim. And Moses said unto Joshua, choose us out men. Why did he choose Joshua? You'll figure it out. And go out, fight with Amalek tomorrow. I will stand on the top of the hill with the rod of God in my hand. Now, let me stop for a second. Now, the Lord said, follow my commandments. He told Moses to smite the rock. And this time, Moses did it. Just remember that. Now, when you read forward, he's going to tell Moses to do something different. He'll tell him to speak to it. But instead, he smote it. You see, his commands are different for everyone. He tells you to do certain things. That means the Lord can tell you to do things this way today and that way tomorrow. Take this route home. You get used to taking that route. Then the Lord like, go this way today. You take the second route. I'm just trying to tell y'all something now. So Joshua did as Moses had said to him and fought with Amalek. And Moses, Aaron, and Hur went up to the top of the hill. I love this part. And it came to pass when Moses held up his hand that Israel prevailed. And when he let down his hand, Amalek prevailed. But Moses' hands were heavy. Just imagine, I was in the military, we used to have to do this. Hold a canteen up. Man, your arm be like, ah! So it's got to be hard, as simple as a staff. But Moses' hands were heavy, and they took a stone and put it under him. And he sat thereon. And Aaron and Hur stayed up his hands, the one on the side and the other on the other side, and his hands were steady until the going down of the sun. The Lord will send you help. Check that out. First he put a stone under there. Then he put some people under there to help hold them up. Look at the Lord. You ain't never alone when it comes to the Lord. The Lord could have just held his hand up himself. But sometimes he set it up for people to help you get along your way. And Joshua discomfited Amalek and his people with the edge of the sword. And the Lord said unto Moses, write this for a memorial in a book, and rehearse it in the ears of Joshua. He's training Joshua. For I will utterly put out the remembrance of Amalek from under heaven. And Moses built an altar and called the name of it Jehovah Nissi. For he said, because the Lord hath sworn that the Lord would have war with Amalek from generation to generation. You remember a few chapters ago, I read, they said it's the first time they heard the word the Lord called Jehovah through Moses. They didn't know his name as Jehovah. Now he said Jehovah Nissi. But look at this. All this stuff going on, and the Lord is just showing miracle, wonder upon wonder, providing, teaching, learning. He even preparing Joshua. He's starting the process of preparing Joshua for things to come. And he does that with us too. He have us prepare people to take over our place too. Just like when you get a job. When God is ready to excel you to another position, he'll start allowing you to train somebody else to take over your position. Let me pause and I will continue.